Radiant team ban.
All right. I think we're good now. All right, we're in it. We're in it right now to win it. ADL, the American Dota League Season 2. We're back. It's Thursday night, and in New York City, it's beautiful. It's May 8th, and it's 7:13. I know we're a little past the starting point, but we got everyone shuffled together into the matchup today, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to see the Argentinian squad, Isurus Gaming, sponsored by HyperX, going against No Earthspirit, or Ban Earthspirit, if you will. And, well, casting for you, it's going to be myself, Coddle Guy, but with me today is a special guest from the behind the scenes of highground.tv, and also who had come over from the chat wheel. It's going to be Mason, but not the Mason. This is Mason White, Elephant Hills. Mason, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well, Coddle. It has been a long time since we've gotten to cast together, so I'm happy to be back.
Mason and I had casted the Helios tournament, which was a lot of fun. It had a few moments where people were kind of raising their eyebrows about what the hell was going on. But overall, we had a great time, and we got to see some of the best talent and a lot of the up-and-comers get through the NA scene. And a lot of those teams that we got to cast together are now a part of the TI4 qualifiers. So we've seen some of these guys grow as players. And I know, Mason, you are familiar with casting Isurus Gaming.
I have had the pleasure of casting Isurus actually with you in quite a few different things. The Amateur Dota 2 League, now here, back in some other tournaments as well, and I'm quite familiar with Mr. Fullback as well. I hope to see maybe a Meepo.
Oh yeah, baby. I hope so. Fullback is known for his Meepo play from time to time, and in this latest meta, you could say Meepo's also filled the role of support. So he could pop up anywhere. Well, hopefully he'll pull it out tonight. This is a 2-game series because we're in Group B. And so it doesn't matter if the games go 1-1. We're going to end it after 2, and we're going to move on to the next set of games tonight, which is Isurus Gaming again going against Union Gaming. So a full Southern American flair. But today, or rather right now, it's going to be a matchup of a classic NA versus SA here. No Earthspirit have a bit of a wishy-washy couple of games as of recent. They've pulled out some wins against eHug and CMB, but they kind of fall short when going against EG, of course, but Liquid as well. So they're kind of bouncing back and forth, but generally, Mason, I enjoy this team. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I do as well. They've definitely proven that they can play with more of the Tier 1 teams, maybe not as consistently as they'd hope to as far as wins go, but they certainly hold their own.
Yep, and we're going to see how they can do tonight. They're not having the best time in the ADL right now. They've played 13 games, and they're currently sporting a 4-9 record, while Isurus Gaming, playing just 8 games, have 3-5. So maybe, it's hard for me just to pop this out in my head, because there is a couple of weeks left before we hit playoff time. If No Earthspirit do pick up majority wins from here on out, they definitely can still have a good spot in the playoffs, and same goes for Isurus. But these games do matter because we're beyond the halfway point. We're getting ready to approach the playoffs. These teams want to be in it. They want to be in a good seed and an opportunity to win that sweet, sweet money.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's really the beauty of the way that the ADL works here. You know, it's not over till it's over. There's always a chance of getting that win streak and coming back, even at this halfway point when it might seem like all hope is lost. You know, there's still a chance to claim the glory.
Oh, of course, and we'll see which team can do it. And plus, this is a nice little appetizer for everyone to see what's to come here in the TI4 qualifiers. A lot of strong talent here. And we'll see how it goes. But finally, let's get underway and actually talk about the draft at hand here. A lot of, you know, pretty typical first bans. Moran has been like the #1 pickup this recent 6.81 patch. And of course, we got to get rid of Naga. We got to get rid of Lycan. But Ember Spirit and Invoker make their way through, and also they both make their way over into No Earthspirit, while Isurus get a hold of what has become quickly the platinum tier pickup in the offlane, the Centaur Warrunner, and a very, very excellent defensive, yet also can be aggressive support in Shadow Demon. Very nice.
Yeah, it's interesting how quickly Centaur has really turned around and just become this top tier thing, with especially with the Blink Dagger changes, not requiring any mana. It allows him to really not having to worry about jumping in and hoof stomping. He's always going to have the mana to do it. And because the playstyle has sort of shifted more aggressively, because you can have more aggressive offlaners, Shadow Demon has become great for both offensive and defensive disrupts. I personally really like the maxed Shadow Poise build because it does an absurd amount of damage with Soul Catcher up.
Of course, if they can get good synergy with it, it can do devastating amounts of damage. Hope to see that, though. For No Earthspirit, I'm a little intrigued here. A lot of teams, typically, when they're going to roll with an Ember Spirit who's going to become the heavy damage dealer, the heavy core of the team, you typically want to get some more defensive supports to kind of help his survivability, or maybe help him out with his mana pool or something, because he needs a little bit of that boost to get to that true potential. And, well, they grab a Lion, and Lion's not too defensive of support, but he can definitely get shit done. And with a heavy amount of CC, that works really nice against the Storm Spirit.
I think the bonus is that Lion is a very self-sufficient support because of his mana drain, so he can roam pretty much as he wants, just drain a little bit of mana from a ranged creep, or just kind of roam around the map, get the kills that he needs to create space for Ember Spirit and Invoker, especially if Invoker decides to go Exort and really can't do quite so much in the early game.
Yep, and we'll see where they decide to take it from here. Now, another support, and of course their late game potential for Isurus might come out. Is this a Meepo-worthy game? I don't know. It's not looking like it as of yet. I mean, there isn't any AoE really to come on No Earthspirit, though Sleight of Fist could still do a great amount of work, and then in case Invoker does go with Quas X, or actually even if he goes Quas Wex, it'd be pretty devastating to a Meepo. So it's looking pretty grim that this will be the game for one such Meepo to pop up, but you never know, really. And plus, with this latest patch, Mason, we've been seeing a lot of new characters show up, and just as I say that, Leshrac is back, and, well, I wouldn't say this is someone to just kind of step into this new patch and become something familiar. This is more of a throwback. The Shadow Demon and Leshrac combo has been around for a long time. This is an old school peanut butter and jelly combo, because if you time it out, the disruption into the stun can be very, very powerful.
Yeah, Leshrac and Shadow Demon are a seriously formidable roaming pair, just because Leshrac can do so much damage early game. Like, Split Earth and Diabolic Edict do a lot of damage, even just with 1 point each, so it's very easy to get early kills, and it's pretty much a guaranteed setup in the laning phase, so it's sort of like a Shadow Demon Mirana or Bane Mirana type of thing, just real good bread and butter. And we see No Earthspirit pick up the Puck, and it's kind of interesting how Puck has transitioned from a mid laner to an off laner, because the mid lane has become more of a farming lane rather than a get level 6 and gank sort of thing. We see it with Ember Spirits, we see it with Invokers. They prefer to sort of get that Midas, or at least build up like a phase drum sort of thing, and then go off, as opposed to a Puck who can kind of just run off at level 6.
I remember reading a recent quick interview session, I guess, not really interview, but just a Q&A session that Arteezy actually had on his own channel, and someone had posted it up on Reddit, and he had said about Puck that he thinks Puck, of course in dramatic Arteezy fashion, is like a fucking terrible mid laner, but really, really good in the off lane. So even he agrees with that, and I think it's what seems to be the trend is you need to throw someone in that off lane who could be able to avoid heavy punishment and feeding overkills and just kind of surviving, getting the CS and EXP. And Centaur's great for that because he's just so goddamn big and buff, and if you throw on a pair of shoes or the stout shield, he can avoid a lot of punishment and still find that. And Puck, of course, just so elusive, was already so hard to gank when put in the mid lane, but now in the off lane, it makes things really tricky, and he's able to still get that solo experience to build up and get an early level 6, get that Dream Coil going, and if he happens to get some farm or some pickoffs, then he can also work towards that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, his orb is just a really good natural escape mechanic that can get him out of sticky situations in the off lane. I honestly think he could be okay mid here against a Storm Spirit, but just due to the nature of the draft, he's obviously not going to go there. But I think there are still matchups that he can be favorable in the mid lane type role. But in this draft, you'd never put him there in place of an Ember Spirit or an Invoker.
5 seconds remaining.
I agree with that. And well, we'll see what's going to end up coming of it. Wow, Clinks is actually going to be grabbed up here. This will be the true core late game for Isurus Gaming, and I feel like I've seen fullback play Clinks before, and I feel like he has also adopted, or at least has been rolling with the Blink style Clinks. He favors the Clinks that likes more heavy positioning as opposed to maybe going for a straight Orchid. But that's always something fantastic to fall back on, especially against this kind of a team. If a Clinks gets that farm going, gets a good timing on his Orchid, he can find a lot of pickoffs here. These are some relatively squishy heroes over here on No Earthspirit when they don't have access to their skills.
Yeah, and paired up with a Storm Spirit, possibly going for a double Orchid type thing, it really shuts down No Earthspirit's Invoker and Puck. They're pretty much worthless if they can't cast spells. Or on the flip side, it allows Storm Spirit to go for something more snowbally like a Bloodstone if he's really doing well.
And I was hoping that they were going to move on to and grab a defensive support, and they do not falter. They grab up one of the best ones in the game, Abaddon, or Abaddon. however people want to pronounce it. Potato, potato. All right, everyone, take it easy with the pronunciations of some of these names. I mean, can I get an amen on that?
Amen, dude.
All right, so anyways, we're underway now. Draft completed, our first match of the night in this 2-game series. We got 2 series for you tonight. A doubleheader, if you will, of Isurus gaming action. So, god damn it, we better see a meepo in one of these games tonight. That's what I'm hoping for. But here we go. We're going to get started and underway. If you want to be able to, at home, right now, watch the game with us inside of Dota TV, you got to have a ticket. And to get that ticket, you got to go inside the Steam Marketplace. You got to grab it up. It's $3.99, and it comes with a sweet and sexual black monolith HUD. And you better believe it, I am sporting this HUD, and you'll see it once we pop in here. There we go. We're underway. You can see the black monolith HUD. Nice, minimalistic, remind you. No sort of protruding crazy fairies popping off this HUD. This is nice and sleek and sexy. A big fan of it. Mason, have you had the opportunity to witness it? Or
it is an absolutely gorgeous HUD. I'm definitely one for darker color HUDs, more minimal, and they really hit the nail on the head with that one.
But Mason is cheap and probably doesn't have it, right?
I run with my Snows of Frostivus HUD. I've had it since last Christmas or whenever it came out, and I've just come accustomed to it, you know?
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. But if you want to have it, $3.99, and also you have the opportunity to get those sweet item drops. And better believe it, sometimes if I see something funny, I will give you a shout out because it's just all in good fun. But here we go. We're underway. Let the introductions begin, and I'll go ahead and start things off because we got to have a pause. It would not be Southern American Dota if we didn't have a pause at some point. So we'll start it off, and now we can kind of sail our way through. But nope, never mind. We're going to go ahead and get right underway. Nope, we're back at it again. So if you're playing the pause drinking game right now, you're already too deep. All right, we just started, so fantastic stuff. But anyways, I'll just truck on. For our Radiant side, we got Ban Earthspirit here, and sporting up the blue, hitting at the top, we got Mr. Goody, or Fanasoyan. He's playing your Lion, and it looks like he's going to get an early ward down here. But in the off lane, it looks like, this is intriguing, Mason, we got half-fried egg roll on Invoker looking ahead to the top. This is actually potentially now an aggressive try they're looking to roll with here. In mid, it is going to be Bricks on your Ember Spirit, and along the bottom lane, we got Relic on the Puck side safe lane, and we got Evan on your Abaddon.
This is a very, very strange dual lane.
Yeah.
Not so much the Abaddon and Puck. Actually, it's sort of like a Puck Treant kind of combo, where Puck can play really, really aggressively with his orb because he has the Aphotic Shield to back him up, but I'm not entirely convinced about this Invoker Lion dual lane.
This is a very bold and beautiful bottom lane going for Isurus Gaming, though. A lot of disable, a lot of lockdown if they can get proper timing out, and they really have to be careful. I mean, they have an Abaddon and they have the Puck. Very elusive and also someone who can play very defensively, but it can only take you so far, so they got to be cautious here. But Mason, as my guest, if you have the moment, could you please introduce Isurus Gaming in a prompt manner for everyone?
Happily. We have full backup on the farming Clinks. We have DDX on his mid lane Storm Spirit. On the roaming supports, we have Nadara and Papita. And on the off lane Centaur, we have Mr. Zerdo himself.
Zerdo himself. Very nice job. I was a little nervous about pronunciating a lot of these names, especially on Isurus, but you went through it like a champion. Proud of you, but we got to be careful here. In the mid lane, we got Bricks hanging around, jolly as hell, one-on-one, but we got some missing supports, and they're looking to rotate over. Oh, he's... Nope. Hi, how's it going? We're going to just run on through the lane here. Don't mind us. As they make the long trip all the way to the top, it looks like they wanted to pull out an audible play. They were not expecting, I'm sure, this Invoker side lane with Lion.
No, this is very strange. And actually, both Invoker and Lion have gone boots first, so they want to be probably a little bit more aggressive. You could see Lion poking away at Clinks a bit earlier, but now with the tri lane on them, it's going to be a lot harder, and Invoker might just die here.
Okay, well, we got to see. Nice Hex timing there. Prevents him from getting the stun off. He makes a run back. Nice. He cancels out the stun. It's a very, very hard stun to land. You definitely need the benefit of that disruption. So good defensive maneuvers coming out from Lion to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice Hex, and it's good that he leveled it first. He actually leveled it just harassing Clinks up there just to get a few last auto attacks, but good timing by him. Definitely saved his Invoker there.
Now, the story in the off lane, because it looks like Centaur will be doing what he does best, hanging it, holding it on his own here, trying to find the CS4 already. It's not too shabby. It's not a very aggressive lane, so he doesn't feel a lot of pressure. He already has an early Stout Shield, did not go with the boots, so he could take a few hits and kind of still hang around a bit. He's got a salve still to work with, so he'll find the farm, but he's looking to get extra gold. He wants to get up to that Blink Dagger. He wants to be a nuisance when this mid-game rolls around.
Yeah, and to be honest, Puck and Abaddon are not going to kill him. They just really don't.
DDX One moment, Mason, I have to witness here. First blood happened right now mid lane. Poor Storm Spirit gets caught out by a very well executed roam coming out from Goody to the mid lane, and they take down the Storm Spirit. Very nice.
It is... I mean, many people have said this before, and I won't be the first one to say it, but I will reiterate it. Getting kills on Storm Spirit before he hits level 6 is incredibly important. He is such a snowbally hero, and once he gets a zip, you're really not going to be able to catch him unless you perfectly time your stuns and whatnot. So getting that early level over him in mid, I mean, Ember has pretty much a full level over him at this point, is really, really important.
Alright, well, as action continues here, mid lane, Storm Spirit trying to shuffle himself back after recently falling and handing over the first blood, making things pretty nice here for Bricks in the mid lane. He's only pushing at a 9-0 CS while Storm still has the upper hand, but Storm now has the benefit of the Shadow Demon lingering nearby, doesn't want to hand anything over too easy, but Storm's got to get level 6. He's only level 3 right now. He's got to get that ball lightning going so he can really start to get some pickoffs for himself, because basically, though, for both teams, once they reach level 6, it's going to get pretty crazy here. We'll potentially see Clinks look to move around the map, try to find a few pickoffs for himself, but more than not, the Storm Spirit, he's going to try to get some shit going.
Yeah, level 6 is absolutely going to be game time for Isurus. The problem is, it's going to be a bit delayed on the Storm Spirit just because Shadow Demon has to sit here and babysit him at this point because Ember is level 5.
Yep. They both need their... Oh, they're actually making a go here. The pull a hap out on Bricks, but Bricks will be able to step away. Not going to be enough to hold him down, but definitely enough to kind of push him back, force him to use up those bottle charges a bit and just generally heal up. And I'm a little surprised here. Banner Spirit taking a little bit too long here to fly their courier. It's past 4 minutes now, and they have to get going. But actually, same goes for Isurus. Supports, I don't know if they're lacking in funds, but let's get these couriers flying. Yeah,
that's actually pretty surprising. Abaddon, sorry, has more than enough gold, as does Lion. I can understand Lion maybe not wanting to and just buying things like sentries to go against the Clinks, but okay, now the carrier flies. But yeah. Isurus is still just walking his way to mid.
This is a lot of time that could be saved, or it could well be on its way back to the base already, but oh well, he's got to be careful. Really pushing it far forward, but Ember's a little too far back in the meantime. We'll chain him up and just do a little bit more harassment, but generally this is a... Ooh, bottom lane, they're making a go, and they do catch out the Centaur with... That's a pretty nice combo they got going here. The Apothic Shield allows the Puck to jump in, get everything off, and especially right under the tower, that damage is already coming in, and with the help burst of that shield, they take down the big bad Centaur.
Yeah, I'm going to eat my words there a little bit. I honestly didn't think they'd be able to kill him just because I didn't think they'd have enough burst to... Because if Puck jaunts in, Centaur's just going to stomp him and run away, but well done.
Yeah, they're making a go on mid lane right now. Disruption stun. Very, very typical. Very, very easy as they lock down the Ember Spirit and quickly burst him down. And now Storm Spirit will get his redemption in the mid lane, even with the help of a DD. Just made it look so easy. And now he finds his time to get that farm up, and he's about to reach level 6.
Yeah, that's really... You saw the potency of that combo there. The Disruption Soul Catcher Splitter. If you hit it, there's really just no way of getting out. And yeah, Storm Spirit, he did die once, but he has an assist gold now. He's got his level 6, so... He looks like he's going to be ready to jam pretty soon, and he will be going for that Orchid as he starts with the Robe of the Magi.
Very nice now. A little aggression here on the bottom lane, but the same goes for the top. Invoker is well into the tower here, trying to put pressure on fullback, while the line is looking to linger around the backside. And well, it's a bit of a tiff, but they're going to have the full team commit up here in the meantime and just look to pull back and just take back any sort of extra CS that Clinks will have. But he's third right now, 30-4. Storm Spirit leading the front, and Puck, believe it or not, actually right behind, second, now first in CS. Something I wasn't really going to expect. I mean, Centaur expected to be able to hold his own in the bottom lane, but he's not really adding any threat, so Puck can just get everything he wants, or she wants. I don't know what the hell this kind of fairy is, but fairy's in a bit of trouble. Orb will be able to join over and get away, but the big jump coming in, but not a lot of mana to work with anymore, DDX. There's the shield, they pull him back, and oh, the double edge is more than enough. No mercy. Fairy blood on the floor. Centaur managed to clean it up, and right after I was praising Puck with all that heavy CS, he will hand over the kill.
That was almost an incredibly nice play by Puck. Really well-timed silence, but just didn't get far enough with that orb. Storm Spirit just had enough for a zip and a pull. And the problem I see with this is actually EG ran a similar lineup a little bit while ago where they safe laned Puck. I'll shut up.
Hold on. Hold that thought. They're making it go. They get something done bottom. They want to go right to mid lane and go on Bricks. Bricks throws out the Sleight of Fist, gets pulled back, and does rend it away to the other side and will step back. You can see that the supports for Isurus were waiting for Storm Spirit to make his return to the mid lane and just hoping to find the opportunity to get it. But now that Ember Spirit is level 6, he is just as pesky rather, as his spirit brother. With those remnants, he can just maneuver wherever he wants, and he becomes very hard to take down.
Yeah, that was also a very nice reaction of Sleight of Fist there, dodging the Shrek stun with it and getting out. But, Clink's was gonna go down.
God, that tornado is gonna get him! Mason, I feel bad, because every time you're about to talk, they're like, oh, Mason's about to talk, we better fight.
Connell, this is what always happens with us. I never get a word in.
I'm like, that's right, Mason, shut up. All right, hey, the action continues. No, but just back-to-back fights. I was actually going to say before this chain of events went off that this is actually a pretty slow-paced game. I mean, it is 5 kills at 8 minutes in, but unfortunately the timing couldn't be worse for you.
Yeah, that's... Considering the teams that are playing, it's a pretty slow-paced game, and it looks like Storm Spirit actually just used that road to finish up his treads. I would still think he would be going for an Orchid, but he wanted that little bit of survivability first. As I was saying, though, and I think I have a minute to speak, EG ran this safe lane puck a little while ago, and the problem I have with it is that when you give a puck free farm, what does he do with it? Like, you get treads, you get a blink, and that's nice. But then after that, he just kind of leaves the safe lane and just runs around. And he can get the same thing in an off-lane position, whereas an Invoker really can't. And you can see that Invoker is much lower on the CS right now. He's only got 32. And he's just not really getting the farm that he could have against a solo Centaur in the safe lane.
The game is going to change pretty dramatically once both of these side laners want to be a part of all the fights. Invoker is going very crowd control with that Quas Wex style of build, which is going to make things a lot easier for the rest of the team to be able to shut down Isurus Gaming. But, oh, mid lane, they're just doing a bit of harassment with the disruption and will immediately pull back. Actually, Shadow Demon takes a good chunk of hits right there. Lion makes a shift over, stuns out DDX, but obviously not enough to take down the Storm Spirit as he will Ball Lightning out. But as I was saying, once Puck does get that blink, he's going to want to, you know, start getting some shit done. He's going to want to use that coil. He's going to be very itchy at the trigger finger. So I would imagine that alongside with the Evoker coming into the fight, Ban or Spirit have a tremendous amount of team fight going in their way. As long as they don't feed over too many kills to when Clink starts becoming a problem, I think they're going to be sitting pretty. Oh, mid lane, by the way. I saw it right at the end right there. Ember Spirit quickly gets taken down, just lingering around a little too long, and Lion was patient enough, rather, to use the mana. But now Clink shows up to the mid lane and sees he can get a quick pick off on Bricks, but Bricks isn't having any of it and will step away.
Yeah, there's no chance that Clink gets that kill there. I think the biggest problem here is that early kill on Storm Spirit forced Shadow Demon to sit mid lane to protect him, and therefore the Shadow Demon Leshrac combo just hasn't done much. It's gotten 1 kill, and in order to get an early game and create support so that Storm Spirit can farm up an Orchid so that Clinks can get an Orchid and a Blink, the supports have to roam and kill a lot more effectively and not just sit mid so their carry doesn't die.
Oh, bottom lane, you got a Shadow Demon lurking, making a run right through the creeps. So there's a long jump coming in from Storm Spirit. They're going to see if they can get Relic, but Relic throws out a very nice coil onto 3. Now forcing Isurus to second guess, making a fight happen. They're going to pull back. No, they're actually still lingering around here. If the rest of Earth want to make a rotation down here, they might be able to take this fight because Shadow Demon has to peace out. Way too low life. He's making the run back to the base, and nothing ends up coming of it. This is more time Isurus are wasting trying to get something going while Ban or Spirit are finding plenty of farm elsewhere.
I'm a little surprised that Ban Earth backed out there after Shadow Demon ran. Storm Spirit really didn't have much mana, and I think they could have gamed on him. Yeah, and at least if they had one more rotation over, but I think they felt they would have been fine and just kind of like, no, we're good, just kind of sit where you are and keep doing what you're doing. We don't really need it. And Invoker, Oblivion Staff. Did you already talk about this before? He's going to be going with an Orchid-style Invoker? That's somewhat unusual to see on Quaswex. It's more of an... X-Sword Invokers favor it more because it allows you to get sort of more solo kills as opposed to the team fight style of a Quaswex. But I can see its importance here, especially against a Storm Spirit, because they don't really have a lot of hard lockdown outside of Hex.
I agree with that, and Clinks is going to go the Midas route, just trying to build up some extra farm, a little more late-game potential, and overall just wants to inherit a lot more gold quicker. But this is one step away, you know, from having that earlier Oblivion or sorry, well, earlier Oblivion into the earlier Orchid, then trying to find your pickoffs, and well, hopefully it ends up paying off for him in the end, because I don't know how it's going to match up. As long as your supports have a fair amount of detection, Clinkz is going to have a hard time going toe-to-toe with the Ember Spirit when they both have a heavy amount of items.
It's really going to come down to who can finish their Orchids first at this point, be it Clinkz or Invoker. But Clinkz did stop off for a Soul Ring, which is actually okay. It allows him to be more mobile and more active because he can Ghost Walk all the time.
Ooh, they're making a rotation over here. Very long TP time. Shadow Demon shows up, but they catch him out. He's forced to disrupt himself to avoid the EMP. Nice choice here, but now he doesn't have it to work with. But Clinkz shows up. He's putting out heavy damage. Turn back finger. Goody gonna man up and take down the support. And we'll make a run back, but Storm Spirit and Centaur are going to look to cut him off right here. Invoker making a run back, gets a brief heal from Abaddon. And now Abaddon looking to turn the tide. They take down Storm Spirit and the Centaur. Banner Spirit know the right time to take the fight, make the rotation over, and get it done. Clinkz is going for the death pack. Oh, force. Nice dust. Very nice carry of the dust. Shackles him out. There's a brief remnant back and forth. Not quite enough damage to take him down, but he will end up falling with the help of Invoker. Banner Spirit are on a tear right now. And they just know that when they have a fight to take, they can take it right to them and just clean house. And I'm glad they made the choice to stay around for the TP. They probably predicted it was going to be the Shadow Demon to try to get things started. And, well, it forced him to use the disruption defensively, and it just went downhill from there.
That was also incredibly good reactions by Goody on the line. You know, most people, when they see three people chasing after them, they're just going to hightail it out of there as fast as they can. But he recognized that they were all lined up pretty perfectly for an Earth Spike, and he manned up, and it paid off.
Goody's been pulling out a lot of great plays throughout the ADL. I mean, the first thing was not even just the ADL. I believe when we even did the Summit pre-qualifier, man, one of the greatest moments I saw Goody do was he managed to throw the longest ensnare from a support Naga to catch out a courier carrying a rapier to the enemy team, and he just took it and snagged it all up for himself, and it was a game changer. It was so impressive, but looking to make a go on the mid lane here. Puck steps back, throws out her own silence, and oh my god, Storm falls down, and Shadow Demon as well. They end up taking down the Puck in the end, so 2 for 1, but now Invoker steps in with a cold snap, and not quite enough reinforcement. Oh, gets a nice tornado in the meantime, but now Isurus are trying to hold strong. Only 3 remain here. Nice dust. Clinkz has no more mana to work with and will be on the run, and he just gets out-bullied here. The Banner Spirit are on it. They have the detection, and they're not making anything easy for this Clinkz. He's not going to find those sneaky little solo pickoffs like he'd want. Yeah,
and the difference is that Bannerth is pretty much ready to fight, like now. Invoker is, I don't know, oh, he actually finishes his Orchid. And Brix has Phase Drums, he's carrying Dust, they have the Abaddon, so they can just fight whenever they want.
We'll see, they're still holding, they want to commit, they want to take down this Tier 1. This will help them a lot if they want to try to make the move into the Roche Pit later, because then it prevents Isurus, obviously, from getting the easy TP access there, and obviously will begin the restriction of the map for Isurus. Banner Spirit, I would imagine from this point, are going to look to continue to push down some of these towers and just take map control and just try to take away the farm from Isurus. Maybe even take their own jungle away.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the next plan will be.
And at this point, there's honestly not much that Isurus can do about it. Centaur is about halfway to a Blink Dagger. He needs 800 more gold or so. And that'll be a big turnaround because he can just kind of jump in, stomp, and kill some of these squishier heroes. But until then, between Invoker, Ember Spirit, and Puck, they can just run over anybody they find.
And they find Clinkz and they run him over just like that. Take him apart real quickly. The detection is still there and available, and with enough lockdown, they can rip apart the Skeleton Man. He has a fair amount of life, but not enough to work with. Meanwhile, bottom, it looks like Isurus are trying to get something of their own, trying to hunt down this Puck. They can't quite commit to any hero here. They run back. They will be able to double edge, but oh, a bit of a heal will not be enough, and Puck will go down. Disruption to fly out. Can they take the Abaddon as well? He pops out. The ultimate here will live in the meantime, steps back with a nuke and takes apart Storm Spirit. Very nice. Lesh desperately pulls out the eject button, and a nice sleight of fist comes out from Ember Spirit as he cleans out the secondary support. This is looking like it might be a quick game, Mason. I think that Banner Spirit have acquired the farm they want, and they're just taking it all away from Isurus. Storm Spirit has nowhere near his Orchid. Clinkz is constantly getting harassed and picked off out of these positions, and it's not looking too good. Even right now, jump in, blink, coming out from Goody, locks him in place, but they don't have enough to follow up, or they throw out the EMP. Centaur's forced to rotate in, and they scared them back for now.
Yeah, that was a rough fight in bottom lane, to put it shortly. Ember Spirit just cleaned house and got 2,700 gold off of that fight. He's just going to go straight Battle Fury. And that's just not something that you want to give an Ember Spirit this early in the game, especially when he's got an Orchid Invoker and an Abaddon backing him up, so he doesn't really need to play defensively. He can go balls to the wall.
Yep. And Isurus, what once looked like they were going to congregate top of the jungle and prevent them at the top, they're now making a long rotation to the bottom, so this split push action coming out from Ban Earthspirit is really making Isurus scratch their head on what they want to do here. They're making runs back and forth, now approaching the bottom lane here, trying to be sneaky as they push ahead. No sentry on the ground, so they don't quite see it. A dust is on hand for Ember, so they got to be careful. Sleight of Fist to go out, there's the pull. Now they throw out the auto attack damage. Invoker shows up, they're trying to keep him alive, but it will not be enough. They do get the objective complete as they take down the Ember Spirit. It looks like Ban Earth and the rest of the squad are going to have to pull back. A dust to fly out, but they do purge down the Abaddon. They want more. EMP will fly out. Storm Spirit avoids it, but he loses a lot of mana just trying to avoid it. Stun will fly and land. Evan might be in trouble. There's a wand to hold him in the meantime and will end up going down. Oh my god! Relic jumps right back in with a fantastic coil and the whole works and rips him apart, and poor little Pepita falls in the end. The Leshrac in the side woods. My god, Mason, that puck almost destroyed him.
All I can say is Relic and Goody. What a player.
They're turning it up right now.
Relic came in and cleaned that up, but that was another 3-man Earth Spike from Goody. Like, when those things happen, all you can do is shrug your shoulders and say, well, we screwed up, guys.
Like, Ban Earthspirit, I knew they had a very strong draft coming into this one. As long as they got that secondary support of it, defensive support that could help out Ember Spirit, I felt like they had a nice formula that couldn't falter. Mid lane, though, as I say that, Ember Spirit might be caught out here, but we'll see if he can get out with the help of a Remnant. Sleight of Fist, there's the changed Remnant, will step away and get out, but Lion shows up, but he's walked past him, but the finger from the backside saves him! Very nice. They end up taking down Lion, and all the meanwhile, it looks like, what was this? Over on the bottom jungle area, they take down the support Shadow Demon. Wow.
My goodness. Goody is literally just all over the map at this point. It is inescapable.
They're really stepping it up. These supports are stepping it up and stepping in when it counts to help out their carries when they get caught out. And the carries still have plenty of time to find the farm they need. Not the same story, unfortunately, for Isurus. You were talking about it before. They couldn't really get a lot done with the Shadow Demon and Leshrac combo, and Leshrec's great. He can scale well. I mean, when you have the momentum from that combo and from a nice pickoff game, you can use the help of that Edict to push down the towers quickly, but there's just no window of opportunity for Isurus to try to make some tower pressure. They have not one tower down. All towers still standing for Ban Earthspirit, and it's looking pretty grim. Jumping on the top lane in the meantime, they're making another go at Brix, and that time it was very easy for him. Brix was just way too far out on their own, and, well, Centaur's stun was more than enough to lock him in place.
Okay, as bad as things look, Isurus could still turn this around. Klinx has his Orchid now, Centaur's got his Blink Dagger up and running, Storm Spirit's still really far behind on his Orchid, but, I mean, he's still a Storm Spirit, he provides some really good lockdown. If Ban Earth gets a little too overeager here, they could throw this game.
And we'll see. Oh, they make a jump on the Klinx, who gets caught out. Goody steps in with a good initiation. Puck to follow. Nice silence. Nice coil onto both after the disruption. Centaur ends up falling. They see the Klinx. There's the dust as well. Tornado flies out, but he ends up falling. Oh, nice counter initiate on the tower. They're not going to give Isurus anything easy in this game.
Well, they still have a chance if they stop playing like that.
Yeah, it seems like they have a small glimmer of hope. They find a good pickoff on the Ember, but something goes wrong. Oh, Puck might be able to get a solo killer on Lesh here. Hunting him down the river. There's the joint forward. There's the silence. Stun does land and a DDX jump in. Oh, Puck goes down. They do trade the Leshrac, but Storm Spirit falls. Goody steps in once again with his goddamn finger of death and just does work. 4 end up falling all day for Isurus. And man, if you look at the gold graph, we're now pushed well beyond the 10k gold lead. Mason, you said that there's still hope. Do you still think Isurus have something to get back into this?
You can never say that there's no possibility whatsoever. Wombo combos can still happen, and I don't doubt that Isurus has the ability to pull them off, but I think that Ban Earth is just so far ahead in items and experience at this point that it might not matter. there's always turnaround. EG has proven in their old state many times that you can throw a game no matter how big your lead is, but I think things are looking grim.
Things are looking pretty grim. It looks like Goody's on the hunt, looking through the jungle here. Nice blink in. They catch out poor little Shadow Demon and quickly rip him apart. But Centaur with the run back, trying to make a go on Goody, but it's not going to be enough, and he has to run away. And they turn back, catch Blink. They chains him down. They run it back, though. Blinks is pretty squishy and ends up falling. Klink's starting to go to town here. He's got the Orchid. He's trying to get something done, but a nice tornado on 2. Centaur very low, ends up falling. Klinks gets caught up, but will step away and get out. Unbelievable. DDX ends up cleaning up. It's 4 for 4 now in the end, and we're going to have a man fight between these two Intels. Oh, and the joint up above. Puck on the high hill, trying to bottle up. Can he jump up above? One more auto attack. The joint. He shifts out of the auto attack. Now the blink over, runs into Shadow Demon, who catches him with the disruption. Oh, will that help? He joints away. Unbelievable. But the poison.
Oh,
no,
my
the
goodness.
shift. What is happening right now? Now finally gets him. Wow, makes him sweat for it. Relic, putting on a nice performance with the puck this game, does end up falling, and it is a 5-man takedown for Earthspirit. But unbelievable.
In spite of his death, I'll still say Relic, what a player. But yeah, now, you know, Isurus has proven that they can turn this around. Storm Spirit's finished his Orchid as well, so he's become a much bigger presence in these team fights. So, I don't know, but Ember Spirit did finish his Battle Fury. However, Isurus has done a pretty good job of staying spread out in team fights, and you saw how deadly that Centaur can be with just a Blink Dagger. He got 2 double edges off, basically killed 2 heroes on his own. So, things could turn around here.
We missed it. It happened in a blink of an eye, but quickly Goody had taken down the Shadow Demon with ease with the help of that level 2 finger, so nothing much to say. One support just easily blasting down the other and just showing how much more farmed he is and how much more he has to offer. And they're making a jump, a long jump here on Invoker, but Storm Spirit does not have the detection. And these Orchid brothers, they got them both online. They're ready to make them work here, and they're trying to find what pick-off they can. And, well, if Earthspirit want to give them the feeds, if they want to try being solo here, they're picking each other out, they see. Hiding side by side under the shadow, but Invoker will retreat for now. It's a bit timid here. A lot of flirting happening, but I wouldn't say that if Earthspirit can come out on top with a tremendous team fight and get things going with a great coil, with a great setup from the Invoker, clean house of Isurus, they're going to lose a set of racks very quickly.
Yeah, I think if they win this team fight, it's going to be a racks, and that could probably be the end of the game.
But if Isurus make a good comeback here, they have nice positioning. They're hiding out here on the side. Oh, but the jump in Goody, but he gets dodged by the jump. Now Goody silenced out, but they end up catching down the Centaur quickly, trying to rip him apart. He gets out the global in the end. Meanwhile, on the side, he gets the EMP to fly very low. Both cores taken down immediately. We were talking about Earthspirit cleaning house, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. 3 to fall. It's going to be 4. Centaur back in the base already, but this is going to be an easy tower and possibly an easy set of racks here as they look to push on forward. Buybacks, well, not there. So Earthspirit are looking to make their first assault on the base.
That was honestly a very sloppy fight from Isurus. I mean, they did get caught out on the high ground by the Ghost Walking Invoker, and that's really an annoying thing to happen.
Well, they got a bit greedy there. They wanted to clean everyone up. They found the Centaur and got it done rather quickly. And, well, I guess Centaur was at least hoping to draw their attention away from the mid lane for a little while everyone else responds, but didn't seem to work too well. Fortification will be popped, but don't deny it. This tower will end up falling, and now we'll see if they try to clean up both set of racks or just quickly rip apart the melee.
I think that they're so far ahead that they can just dive the base and kill the heroes as they come one by one.
Goody just like steps aside for the second time. He's just like, oh, there's a Shadow Demon here. I'll just get rid of him real quick and takes him out. Puck actually gets caught out really quickly from the Storm Spirit. And, well, it looks like Klinks is trying to get something done. He just cannot handle the cold snap coming out from Invoker and gets shut down immediately. Long jumping coming out from DDX. Will jump back but has no more mana. This has got to be game. They feed themselves over another couple of times while Earthspirit even leaves the base. There it is. They call out the GG, they raise the white flag, and Earthspirit are going to take the win in this first of 2-game series.
That was a very convincing lead by Earth. I actually favored Isurus' draft if they created the space in the early game. I thought that they had more of an ability to just pick off some of these squishier heroes, but Earth just proving that their individual play, especially from Goody and Relic, is just very, very high.
Yep, and we'll see in the next game if it's a matter of Ban Earthspirit outclassing Isurus, or maybe Isurus just felt they didn't have the right draft. So we'll jump into game number 2 and see if they can try to even things up. I'm Coddle Guy. Casting with me is going to be Mason, White Elephant Hills Dota. You can find him over on Twitter at WEHDota. That correct?
That is correct.
And of course me over at Coddle Guy. And be sure to hang around. We'll jump right into game number 2.